All right, here we are, day 5. It's a Friday, and I had a super productive day. We're definitely into the swing of things here now. Still haven't throttled each other by any means, having a great time.
Yeah.
And Doug's going to talk a little bit about this book that we've been using as a reference.
So, as you know, this is part of my doctoral work, and one of the really inspiring people to me in this process has been Andrzej Markowitz. This gamification book has some really cool tips about how to start thinking about game mechanics in context, how to use game mechanics outside of games, which this is a game-like experience. It's more of an educational thing, and these are really good suggestions of how to think in a gamified way. So we've been working through those, and really useful stuff, especially when it comes to like progress feedback. We thought a lot about progress and feedback, which will lead us to talking about the wheel.
Yeah. So you may have heard about the Wheel of Life. Essentially, the Wheel of Life. Here, well, let me just say, this is a guide for one of the live quests, the live Facing Dragons quest that I've led people on. This was the My Story quest. And one way to gain some perspective on, where you're at in your life, how you're doing, is to look at, and even what your goals are going to be for this quest, because everyone's going to choose and be working for their own personal or professional goals. One of the ways is to look at the different areas of your life and just rate, like, how on purpose and how fulfilled are you in, say, the area of health and body, or the area of money or relationship. And so we've used this wheel in the past, but now we're gamifying it.
It's going to be a core mechanic. It's figuring out how satisfied you are with your current fulfillment level, I guess. Your current on-trackness of these different domains is key to the progress through this game. So we've split up all of the different possible challenges that somebody might face, which will come in the form of quests in the game, into colors. And those colors are represented by the elemental dragon that sort of embodies these things. So we've got, let's start on the green, because I talked about a green gem before in one of the first videos. So green dragon being contribution, philanthropy, service, giving. Blue dragon, we've got mindset. So mindset and emotion. Do you want to talk about the indigo dragon?
Sure. Indigo dragon is social, so that's friends and family and how satisfied you are in your social life and connections.
And then we've got silver and gold, which are silver dragons about money, just how satisfied you are on your money thing. These are all 1 to 10, by the way. 1 being like completely unsatisfied with how things are going, to 10 being like, yeah, I'm living it. Gold dragon, goals. Sounds the same, shiny, nice. Love and communication.
Well, essentially the gold dragon, because this is, a big part of the reward you're going to be getting in this quest is real life results, and you're going to be achieving your goals. Yeah, or completely, failing and then having to start again or give up. Like that's
important.
One of the things we're looking at here, and a key piece of gamification. Also a key piece of a hero's journey. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in another video, that there has to be a way that we can fail. That's life, right?
There's always the risk of failure, but failure in a good game, failure is a sort of an encouragement thing, because it's not permanent. We have what's called the freedom to fail, and it is not super costly. It's just annoying. Like failure shouldn't make you quit. Failure should encourage you to try again. So goals are, the gold's dragon is goals. And also we've got red and orange. Was it the red and orange ones?
Yeah, so red is love. Red is intimate relationship. So looking at how fulfilled you are in that area, whether you want a relationship or not. You could not want a relationship and you could be totally satisfied. You get the point. Orange is about health and body. So this is fitness, eating habits, and these dragons, that represent each of these areas, you're going to be facing them.
Literally.
Yeah, and they're going to be challenging you in these areas. You're going to get to rate yourself, but also the dragons are going to ask you questions about these areas, and you're going to be rated by them. So in
but
a sense,
not be rated.
Not B-rated.
But maybe a little bit of B-rated.
And then we got yellow.
Dragons are funny because they can be your ally, but you can never fully trust a dragon. There's always something there. There's a little bit of danger, and I think that's what we want to have come across. We're facing dragons. They're going to give us quests, and they're kind of on our side, but they're also going to kick your butt if that's what you need at the moment. Like, for
They're
example,
your ally and your challenger.
right? Yeah, just like your friends and family, right? So this dragon, I think of the health and fitness one a lot in my metaphoric thinking of how this is going to play out, and I can imagine we talked about this as well. When you first meeting your dragon, they ask you some questions, and so I don't know if you can see this. This is the wheel thingy of like how close, how on track of each of those domains you currently feel at the moment. So to establish the first point on that track, it's really the dragon who you're first interacting with who sets your starting point. And then you do quests in that domain to increase from that starting point. And it's all based on self-report. It's not going to be like telling you failed or you passed every time. You kind of tell the system if you feel you failed or passed that specific step. So without getting too much deeper into that, I want to talk about reward systems as well. So this is more of a charting thing. This life circle, this circle of life, we call it life circle.
We call it life wheel.
Life. It's a map, and it's a map of how well you're doing in all these.
It's your energy wheel as well. Like how energized are you in each of these areas of your life?
Yeah, it kind of looks like a dream catcher. I mean, it's got a lot of metaphorical references. So you got this. This is kind of tracking your overall character progress. Think of it like a character sheet. But then each quest, when you finish it, will have a reward. And this is an essential component of gamification. And if anybody's played Hearthstone, imagine a treasure chest, like a nice glowing chest that you see. And when you win, it goes, pops open, and you've got little things popping up on the screen that are your rewards. One, ding, you got a gold coin with how many gold you've earned for that quest. Two, ding, a nice little card. And the card shows what skill you've learned by completing that quest, which is tied to the learning objective of the quest. You'll end up collecting these skills that you'll look back on and say, look at all these things I've learned. And then last thing is some sort of challenge or reason to start the next quest, like a clue or like a question or something else that you take with you, like mystery, some sort of mystery. Mm-hmm. So you get gold, which by the way you use to like unlock stuff in the game, like your next quests and all that. Cards, which are representations of what you learned, and challenges.
Yeah, so lots of fun stuff. And then one thing, if you're watching this video, yesterday we put a link up. One of the things that all of this is hinging upon, and the research included, is the surveys that we're going to be doing. So we put a link up on the site yesterday if you want to go and take the survey, as well as we're starting to get, we put out a request to the profs here at SFU, and we got our first approval yesterday to come in pre-class and do this survey with the students.
Yeah, to give out the little physical link card we showed you in the previous post, which is really cool. And then you can log on, and you guys right now, feel free, and we'd love it if you take the survey right now and tell us what you think about what life skills you would be interested in learning in a game. Right now, you know a lot more about the game than anybody else taking the survey ever would. If you've sat through this video, you know kind of what the game's going to be like. So tell us your valuable opinion. Your opinion is very valuable, and what kind of skills you'd like to learn in a setting like this.
Yeah. So in terms of what's next, we're going to talk a little bit more about the overarching story of this quest, the experience you'll be going through, and also the stories within the stories. It's called The Hero's Journey. We'll go through that in a video coming up. And
yeah, we're going to keep it a little shorter next time. I like to talk a lot, so, sorry for that.
It's got good stuff to say, right? So
we've gone through a lot of stuff, and next up is a lot more stuff.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for following the journey.